Nvidia stock is expected to have one of the most important weeks this week as a lot of big tech companies are reporting earnings. Now, I want to say one earnings is probably more important than everything else this week. And let me know in the comments below if you know which one I'm talking about. So on today's episode, obviously, we're going to take a closer look at that. And if you are bullish on Nvidia, make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe button. And also check out my pinned comment for special offer at fool.com/Jose, a coupon code with $10 off and a free ebook if you purchase my latest ebook. All the information is down below.
I want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video, and check out fool.com/Jose for the 10 best stocks to buy now. With that link, you get a promotional offer for their subscription service. Now, let's continue with today's episode.
So this week is going to be huge, in my opinion, for tech investors. And obviously, tech investors, we have a lot of happening with AI. And at the end of the day, anything that deals with AI is also going to impact Nvidia. On Tuesday, we have AMD. And obviously, AMD is important because it's probably the closest competitor to Nvidia when it comes to AI GPUs. But I do not think AMD is going to be the most important earnings. As we can see, a lot of big tech are reporting earnings this week. We have Google on Tuesday after the market closes. We have Microsoft and Meta on Wednesday after the market close. And we do have Amazon on Thursday after the market close. And to me, the most important is going to be Microsoft. And I'll explain a little bit later on. Some other noticeable earnings that I think semiconductor investors might want to know is onsemi is reporting on Monday before the market opens. We also have Intel that is reporting Thursday after the market closes. I think those two are going to be great indications of kind of the semiconductor space, but not necessarily too much for the AI market. Even though Intel does have their Gaudi 3 AI accelerator, I don't believe what's happening with the AI accelerator for Intel has much to say about Nvidia in general. Now, before we take a closer look at those earnings and certain things I'm keeping an eye out, I want to talk about a market segment that most people are not discussing too much. So that is sovereign AI, and this is when individual countries are investing in AI investments and AI infrastructure. And this is important because data is important to hold, and it's important for each company to hold their own data and to develop their own AI solutions for their own people. And in a recent report, we can see that Nvidia CEO believes that UE, where the European Union lags versus the United States and China in AI investments. And in my opinion, I mean, that kind of just tells me that, hey, look, we're still in early innings of sovereign AI. Right now, it seems like the big players are US and China, but there's still a whole world that still needs to invest in the AI market, which could be a nice tailwind for the foreseeable future for Nvidia. Some great examples is on October 24th, Nvidia had kind of their AI conference in India. And India is another big player that is investing a lot in AI. So this is another big customer for Nvidia in the future. And then not only that, we can see how Denmark launches leading sovereign AI supercomputer to solve scientific challenges with social impact. We're also seeing other countries like Japan, right, also really focusing in big AI investments. And a lot of other Southeastern Asian countries are also doing the same. So in my opinion, sovereign AI is definitely a nice growth opportunity, as in my opinion, I believe sovereign AI or just AI is going to be such a crucial player, not just for your typical infrastructure needs in forms of like smart cities, but it's also going to be a very important player for things like national security. And I believe that's why United States is one of the biggest and more important spender of AI. And I think that has to continue. Now, before we take a closer look at earnings, check out my pinned comment for $10 off of my Q3 chip earnings handbook. Every week I send updates if you purchase it, and every week you get updates to recent earnings that have come out and my overall recent thoughts. If you do purchase the Q3 earnings book, you also get Q2 for free, and like I mentioned, $10 off. Everything should be in the pinned comment below. Now, also earlier on this episode, I mentioned that I believe Microsoft is going to be the most important earnings for Nvidia. Now, obviously, all big tech, in my opinion, is important as all big tech have capital expenditure, and we want to continue to see them invest heavily in AI infrastructure. And the way things are going, I believe the AI infrastructure investment is just starting off. We're going to continue. I'm not saying we're going to see jumps and jumps every quarter, but we are going to stay at some nice elevated levels compared to historical values, as AI is such a revolutionary technology. Now, Microsoft, they are expected to report earnings on October 30th. So if I remember correctly, that is going to be Wednesday after the market closes. Now, the reason I believe Microsoft is the most important AI customer for Nvidia is because they're also the biggest reportedly coming in for their next generation Blackwell. So there was a recent video that I did, and we saw some leaks or some reports based on analysts that the GB200, which is the Grace Blackwell 200 super chip, Microsoft demand exceeds insane. Some of the reports suggest that their volumes are around 3 to 4 times bigger than any other cloud server provider. So in forms of AI investment, Microsoft is going to be the leader for various reasons, right? They obviously are creating their own AI solutions, but more importantly, they're working with their partnership and investment on OpenAI. And recently we saw that OpenAI leaders say Microsoft isn't moving fast enough to supply servers. So there's still a huge demand from what I'm seeing and from what we're reading. So in my opinion, Microsoft is going to be the most important. One thing to note is on their last earnings call, which happened about 3 months ago, they mentioned as they begin their fiscal year of 2025, they continue to invest in cloud and AI opportunity ahead, aligned and if needed, adjusted to the demand signals we see. Now that I'm seeing kind of, I want to say with a more clear view, especially with all the earnings and all the updates that we've gotten recently, I see it as a bullish case where if Microsoft is actually seeing huge demand in AI solutions still, then they might even increase their overall investment on AI infrastructures, which could be good. And I mean, recently, I forgot to post this, but Microsoft did make that huge investment on 3 Mile Island to kind of deal with forms of nuclear energy to power future data centers. So right now, in the long-term view, it still seems very bullish for Nvidia. Now, like I mentioned, all the other players are also important. We still want Alphabet to say good things about CapEx. We still want Meta to say good things about CapEx. We still want Amazon to say good things about CapEx. But the one that me, as Nvidia's being my number one position, the one I care about the most will be Microsoft. I think Microsoft holds a lot and a lot of weight in this AI investment race. Now, the second biggest earnings, in my opinion, is obviously going to be AMD. So, as you guys know, I am very bullish on advanced micro devices. This is an important player in the semiconductor space, especially with advanced chips. Now, AMD recently did release their MI300X, right? And it's expected to be rolling out here in Q4 of 2024. And we can see that their system providers are going to have it in Q1 of 2025. AMD also most recently reported that the AI accelerated market is expected to grow to $500 billion by 2028. The previous estimate was $400 billion by 2027. So about $100 billion growth in 1 year, in my opinion, is completely insane. Now, AMD, I see this as a very far second in the AI accelerator space, especially when it comes to traditional AI GPUs. I'm not talking about ASIC solutions. So AMD, in my opinion, what I really want to hear is to hear more about the AI market. We're gonna, in my opinion, have a lot of analysts ask questions about the AI space, as they know that this is gonna be a great alternative to hearing more about the AI market before Nvidia's earnings. So what analysts are going to ask during this earnings call, in my opinion, is going to be very valuable for Nvidia investors. So AMD is going to be my second favorite coming in on Tuesday. Now, I will be covering a lot of these earnings, but if I don't cover some of these semiconductor earnings via video, the best place is going to be over that ebook, where we already have plenty of earnings covered right now. We just added Vertiv this past update. We added Texas Instrument. We added some other AI plays like SK Hynix. So make sure to check out the earnings ebook as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Take care, have a good day, and see you next time.